My name is Liz and welcome to the Tiny Treatery. And today, I'm posting another fake video because I'm still busy with school. So, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be taking a tour of my, in my opinion, perfectly organized kitchen. And I'm very proud of it, so please be nice. Without further ado, I'll meet you in the kitchen. Okay, so I suppose the thing that makes the most sense is to just start on one end and head to the other end of the kitchen. So first things first, here's my trash can, which I know it might seem weird. I'm flexing my trash can, but trash recycling. Honestly, amazing. So secretive, so sleek, you wouldn't even know. All right, next, I have this extra storage shelf that I bought because I was running out of room in my cabinets. So on the top here, we have some piping bags and then a large Wilton decorator kit, which I will open in a minute. And then I have this tiny decorator kit that was one of my very first baking purchases. So it came with 36 piping tips they're okay. I kind of wish I hadn't bought this kit because I think that Wilton tips are higher quality, but I was a beginner, I didn't know, but it's cute, so it's okay. And then underneath, there are more tools. Most of the stuff that's in here didn't actually come with the kit, like all these paint brushes and like these are cookie decorating tools and they just fit in here very nicely, so I put them in here. And then I have my background, which is just like a roll-up thing with a marble texture on it that I use to make my videos look cuter. So now you know the secret of my movie magic. So inside the Wilton decorator kit, I have one small piping tip. I think these tips would all fit here, but why would I put them there when I already have a case for them? I'll just buy some extra tips that I don't have. Like this tip is used to pipe petals and none of those are good for piping petals. So I bought this little Wilton one for that. And then I have these larger, this is a large petal tip. And I have some other larger tips and also these. These came with the little pink kit, but when I put all the cookie stuff in there, they didn't fit anymore. So I figured I would just put them here. And these are Wilton tips, so they're better, honestly, but whatever. These are used to help cut cake layers at a level height. You push this button down, and then you stick a knife in one of the slots, depending on how tall you want your layer to be. And then when you put it up, it holds the knife in place, and you put one on each end so that your knife stays at the height you want it to be, and then you can cut a cake layer. And then I have some couplers for piping bags, a flour nail, this thing to get the flour off the flour nail, and then some low quality little scrapers that came with the pink kit, but I moved them to here. And then in the bottom layer, I have a bunch of cupcake liners. These are all silicone, so they can be reused, but I have some disposable ones too. And I have this parchment roll to line the edges of a cake pan. And then I have tiny little parchment rounds for my 4-inch cake pan. The last thing is a more high quality bench scraper, which you can use to smooth icing or like cut dough or whatever. And then I have some little sticks for making cake pops. Moving down to the next shelf, I have a large cake turntable and then a little tiny one, which I really think is mostly for cookies, but I also use it if I make tiny 4-inch cakes. And then a little basket of mostly cookie cutters. And then I also have some stencils here because you can like use these to make sprinkles out of royal icing, though it doesn't work that well because they turn out pretty thin, but that's why I have them. Obviously, I might need a larger bin for my cookie cutter should I get any more, but this is working for now. And then on the bottom, I have a bunch of packaging, I suppose. I have some large cake boards and some tiny cake boards. And then these are all various sizes of boxes for cupcakes and stuff. And then I have some cellophane bags to wrap cookies in. These are chocolate molds because I made a chessboard cake and I have nowhere else to put them, so they're going in there for now. Here's my heat sealer to seal the cookie cellophane bags, and then my beautiful, wonderful cordless hand mixer. I don't know if it has any battery, let's see. Wow, what a queen. Next segment. I guess we'll look in the freezer first. Yeah, I'm even showing you my fridge and freezer. That's how confident I am in my organization. My freezer is kind of ugly though, I gotta admit. So here's some frozen vegetables and like some shrimp and then a bunch of other frozen stuff, some devil's nectar, don't look at that. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff in here because I mostly eat frozen stuff for dinner, like salmon, chicken breast, burgers, whatever. So that's the freezer tour. And now for my fridge. So the top shelf, I have some lemonade. I don't really drink that. It's mostly a companion for the devil's nectar, but I have it. My butter dish, and then some sausage that I make with my breakfast. Some grapes, some carrots, and then some berries. and eggs, and then I don't even have anything in the bottom drawer. And then over here on the door, I have milk, heavy cream. I only get the tiny ones because I don't drink milk on a regular basis because I think it's disgusting, and I only use it for baking, so I get the smallest portion that I can. Some yeast, syrup, lemon juice, and butter that will go in the dish when it's time. I keep my instant coffee in the door of the fridge because it fits here, and I don't care. I'm not that pressed about the quality of my coffee, obviously, since I'm drinking instant. And then I have some marinara sauce. I guess it's pizza sauce, actually, but it was the smallest jar, and I wanted a small jar, so that's what I'm using. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, and then a very lonely Diet Bevis. I like to keep a barren fridge because I don't like it when there is stuff in the fridge that has been there for a mysteriously long amount of time, and you're not sure if it's gone bad or not, and it just gets grosser and grosser. I'm not about it. I like to keep my fridge as clear as I possibly can. Now for the cabinet atop the fridge. Ooh. I am getting on a stool because it'll be easier to film. Okay, so on the door, I have 3 sieves, I guess they're called, and then a little frying spider or whatever. And then on the other door, I have the attachments for my beautiful stand mixer. I keep these here. And then in here on the left, I have this storage device for long flat things. So I have a cutting board, my quarter sheet pan, it's the only sheet pan I have. And then in the middle, I have, oh, this is gonna be loud, okay. A cupcake pan and a donut pan. And then 2 small cooling racks. In the back, I have a tiny food processor that I don't use very often, but I do have it. And then this magic device is used to organize my pots and pans, obviously. So in the back are the ones that I don't really use that often because obviously they're inconvenient to access. But on the front, I use this one all the time, and I use this little tiny one. If you're a true fan, you know that I use this tiny one constantly to make eggs, not only for my videos, but also for breakfast. These are lids for my mixing bowls, which you'll see their location soon. And then my adorable little cow print milk pot. So that is the end of this cabinet. Behold its glory. Next is this cabinet. Honestly, not my best work, gotta be honest here. So I keep my pot holder on a little hook here, and then on the bottom, oh, it's very dark, but here are the mixing bowls. There's 4 like metal ones, and then I have 1 glass one that I just put on top. This is the remaining mixing bowl lid because it's too big for the location where I have the other ones, but I never ever use this enormous mixing bowl because this is the tiny treatery, so why would I ever need that? And then all of that stuff that is crammed there are refills for my jars, and we will get to my jars at some point, but it's like flour and sugar and powdered sugar and my candy melts and stuff, so I don't need to get them out very often. I only do when my jar is empty, so I just stuff them back there and I just deal with the grueling process of digging them out when I have to. Upper shelf, other various supplies. I try to keep the things that I use the most frequently toward the front, so my meringue powder for royal icing, shortening if I'm deciding to add shortening to buttercream, and then I have like some coconut oil behind that. And then I use this to spray my egg pan, olive oil, which I use for like dinner kind of often, vegetable oil, and then I have like vinegar and stuff back there that I don't very use that much. And then I have sprinkles back there that are also only ever dug out to refill jars, and we'll get to those jars eventually. Next is this drawer. I'm very proud of this drawer. I think it's nice and sleek. So on the left, I have all these scrapey spatula type things. And then here on this tray up here, this is like a knife sharpener, which I never use because I am like not intelligent enough to know when I'm supposed to sharpen my knives. And then I have this little baby spatula that was given to me. You know who you are, thank you so much. And then this is a cake tester, so you don't have to waste toothpicks to tell when your cake is done. You stick this in, and if it comes out clean, your cake is ready. And I have 2 itty bitty little whisks that I use very often in all of my videos. And this thing, which is an even tinier little spatula that I decided I wanted. Then I use this to make my eggs and also tiny little pancakes that I make for breakfast. And then this is a small icing spatula, and then this is an instant thermometer. And then this thing slides, but in the interest of showing you everything easily, I'm just gonna take it out. So here in this little compartment, I have my tiny battery-powered whisk, and you put these little attachments in it. I guess I show you. Put the attachment in. You have a little whisk. And then I have an ice cream scoop and my small rolling pin. This is actually the only rolling pin I currently have. It's really like a fondant rolling pin, but I wanted a small one. But I'm probably gonna get a regular size one eventually because it kind of gets irritating if I'm making cookies for more than one person. Usually I just bake for me, but sometimes I don't. And in those times, having only tiny tools can sometimes be a burden. And I have some chip clips. They don't really look that good, but I don't know where else to put them. Can opener, pizza cutter, and a small wooden spoon. And then in the back, I have my scale that is accurate to the gram, and then this small scale that is accurate to the centigram for when I'm going real tiny. And then I have some toothpicks back there that I don't really use that often, but there they are. LMAO. Smash like if you noticed that I forgot to put this tray back. My glorious pink KitchenAid Artisan Mini, the smallest stand mixer that they offer. Still pretty big, but I'm in love with her. Next is this cabinet. So, on the top, I have snacks and stuff. It's usually not this full, but I will be completing my thesis for school at the end of the week, so I preemptively bought a bunch of snacks so that once that happens, I can celebrate. Here is a bunch of like baking type materials, ingredients, salt, and then I have kosher salt and sea salt. Same general concept as that other cabinet where the more I use it, the more front it is. And then I have some stevia, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I use it only for my coffee. Molasses for gingerbread, usually anyway, that's the only thing I've been using it for so far, and I'm obsessed with it, so even though it's February, I keep refilling it when I need to because I love gingerbread. Some random pudding that I never use, baking soda, cocoa powder, peanut butter, and cornstarch. And then, really into this little spice rack that I have. Keep baking powder, espresso powder, which is good for chocolate cakes, and then this seasoning salt and vanilla in the back. All the spices I have, which is not very many, but this is what I have. Salt and pepper, peppermint extract, cream of tartar, and then some cheap liquid food coloring that I pretty much don't use. So there is that cabinet. Nothing to see here. This cabinet is just like, you know, whatever the microwave needs to do to be itself or something. I don't know. Me in the microwave. The stove. And then I guess there's this drawer under here. Oh God, it always opens uneven and it's like really irritating, but I don't know. I've never experienced one of these storage drawers under the oven that is like not the worst thing in the world to interact with, so I don't know, whatever. This is also not really my best work, but I have some glass dishes that stack and then 2 tiny 4-inch cake pans. And then I have another 4-inch cake pan whose bottom pops out. Small little loaf pans. These were both gifted to me by somebody. And then these 8-inch brownie cake pan things. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of regular sized cake pans, but you know, that'll probably change one day. Now for these drawers. All this is garbage bags. This is where I keep my sponges and these scrubber things, and then my hand mixer chargers right there. These are knives and like long tools that don't really fit anywhere else. And then this is my silverware drawer. Ta-da! So all my straws are here because they're very long and this is where they fit the best. Steak knives, butter knives, and then these are large spoons, and then smaller spoons, and then similarly large forks and smaller forks. It's very wonderful to have an organizer that fits perfectly in this skinny drawer, because that silverware used to be in that drawer, and then all of the stuff that was in that organized thing was all crammed into this drawer, and it was really gross and ugly, and I hated digging through it. But then I found out about this, and I got this, and it changed my whole life. So under the sink, my paper towels, and then I have these clear things that I put on, sandwich baggies and storage baggies, and then these are silicone baking mat things, foil parchment paper, and clear cling wrap. And now, what I consider to be the focal point of my kitchen, which are my storage jars and my sprinkles and food coloring. So for the boring stuff over here on the right, I just have pancake mix, which I make with my breakfast like pretty much every morning. Cake flour, considering getting a cake flour jar, but for now it's here. then some Bonza pasta, and then this adorable little Ohio honey that my mom sent me from my home state, and I'm never gonna use it because I like keeping it as a decoration. And then here is a gift from the same person that gave me the tiny spatula. They actually gave me the spatula in this little jar, and they put a little note that says, "A tiny contribution to the tiny treatery." And I am keeping it there because that's the cutest thing in the entire universe. Then for these bottom jars, I have light brown sugar and dark brown sugar, white chocolate chips, and semi-sweet chips. Normally, these chocolate ones are actually filled with candy melts, but I ran out of candy melts and I needed to use melted chocolate for something, so I just put chocolate chips in those jars, and then once they run out, I will refill them with the appropriate candy melts. And then all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, powdered sugar. And then up here, I've never been more proud of anything in my entire life as I am of this array. So here are my sprinkles. These are like white regular jimmies, and then like some round ones, some crystal type things. These are homemade. I made them out of royal icing. And then like chocolate, and then like whatever, some star colorful thing. And then some red and green Christmas like sanding sugar type sprinkles, red and green Christmas homemade sprinkles, rainbow ones, tiny little rainbow circle ones, and then more homemade ones that are purple, these pink heart ones, pink sanding sugar, very, very light pink, like a thicker type sprinkle, and then I don't know how you describe these. So yeah. But all the sprinkles that you saw in that other cabinet that I said are refills, I keep those in there, and then whenever these run out, I will fill them. Like this one needs to be filled pretty soon. And then up here, I have 36 bottles of Chef Master Liquid Gel food coloring. Do I use all 36 of these bottles? No, of course not. But do I need them? Yes, because look at how beautiful this is. Then my sink, obviously not very exciting. Here's a sick hack for you guys. If you cut your sponges in half, you will have twice the number of sponges that you started out with, and they'll last way longer. Honestly, a great money saver. Dish soap, and then I have these little pipe cleaner things that I use on my straws and my piping tips. And then I just got a new air fryer, which is a wonderful companion to my other cute appliances, like my pink mixer and my hand mixer. I haven't used it yet because I'm kind of like scared of it, but I'll probably make something in the air fryer in an upcoming video. Okay. So it's finally time, the moment we've all been waiting for. Did I just film this whole thing with this cabinet open? I'm gonna frickin' scream. There's secrets in there that you are not supposed to see. Maybe I'll just cover it. Maybe I'm about to overdo it, but I put it in for more time. I don't know what to do. My cabinet secrets. Ta-da! If you have seen somebody do something more ridiculous in their kitchen for organization purposes, please comment below and tell me what it is, because I don't know if I can be shown up. So if somebody did something more ridiculous, I might have to up the ante. In terms of the regular shelves in this cabinet, I have some ramekins that my aunt gave me, as I mentioned in my creme brulee video, some shot glasses that are actually also measuring cups, which I think is super cute. And then behind here, I have some like extra sprinkles jars that do not fit on the rack. A big coffee, whatever you would call that I never use. And then a devil's nectar container that I also don't really use. And then these two little storage container bowl things, I don't know. And then here is glass prep bowls, an OXO measuring cup thing, and then I keep my little measuring beakers of varying sizes inside there to save space. Some cute glass prep ramekin things, 2 gray mugs, and then tiny little plates that are good for serving 1 cupcake or something of the sort. So down here I have these plates, bowls, tiny prep bowls, and then cups that all obviously are the same. I bought them at the same store, and I wanted one of each color that they offered, and so my ordering is white, this lighter gray, this darker gray, and then the darkest one. And the system is that when I use a bowl or any of the other ones, after I use it and wash it, I put it on the bottom of the stack to make sure that they maintain the proper order and that all of them get used approximately in equal amount. Yes, I'm aware one of the plates here is missing. Has been lent out to somebody, but I do have it. I have all the colors for all of those, do not fear. And then I have these white smaller plates for when I don't need to use a big plate. And then my pride and joy, my cabinet secrets that I've kept from you all for so long, my measuring cups and measuring spoons. So 1 cup, half cup, 3rd cup, 4th cup, tablespoon, teaspoon, half teaspoon, 4th teaspoon, and then I have a duplicate 4th teaspoon, 8th teaspoon, 16th teaspoon, 32nd teaspoon, and a 64th teaspoon. Baby. It's amazing, honestly, because before when they were all on those stupid rings, it was like really annoying to have to like get them off the ring and then put it back on the ring. And in the case of the metal ones, the ring was like one of those keychain rings where you have to like pull it apart, and it was really hard to get them off. So I never took them off and I left them on the ring. So when I used one, I had to wash them all because they would just all get dirty because they were all being touched and involved in the process when they did not need to be. So that is that. My glorious cabinet secrets that honestly were probably very underwhelming and anticlimactic, but there you have it. So we have made it through my entire kitchen. Hope you have enjoyed the tour and appreciated all the work I put into making it perfectly and beautifully organized. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more baking and kitchen related adventures, I guess, because this wasn't really baking, but yeah, bye.